Aiva.
Very nice.
So after strengthening our squad last season and investing our money into young promising players, we ended the season 3rd in the league, which is a massive improvement considering we finished 8th in the first season. So the question stands, can we finally win the league? We were given a pretty decent amount of money to work with, it was definitely manageable.
Okay.
And with the money comes the pressure, because the board saw our achievements so far and had tasked us with winning the league, but as for the cup, they were pretty modest. Not only did we have domestic objectives, but also continental, because after finishing 3rd last time, we were into Europa League qualifiers actually. I did not know that at first, so it was a pretty nice surprise when I first saw the objective, which was of course to reach the group stage, as we were not really that great. So just like last few times, I've got another personal objective, which is to win the league of course. We once again entered the preseason tournament, where we lost in the final. We did get 2 new players after they arrived in the summer, but obviously the squad is nowhere near good enough to compete with other European teams. Unfortunately, our starting right back, who was at the club since 2003, had finally decided to retire at the end of the season. So I will need to look for a replacement soon, especially considering that I also sold our second choice right back. And I did just that, as I signed a true-blooded Viking. Yes, of course. Look, as long as you were born under a certain flag, I don't care how you look, put the boots on and go play. I did also sign another fullback, this time on the left side, for a straight swap with Fredrik Aursnes, who wasn't getting played enough and wanted to leave. I then finally got to promote my Naiga, as he had just turned 16, and on the same day that my scout found Tobias, I promoted him also. But that's not all the transfer that I did, as I also sold what was our 3rd or 4th choice goalie, 2 defenders, another guy that wanted to leave, and yet another guy that also wanted to leave, leaving our team looking something like this before the Europa League qualifiers, in which we had Braga. But unfortunately they were no match for us, as they are a pretty good team. And finally, on deadline day, I signed Sander Berge and Fredrik Sembberge, who are not related, I don't think. I mean, technically we all are, so how about you like this video? I'm your distant cousin after all. With our team looking somewhat capable of kicking a ball, it was time to sim until January 1st, and on the 1st I promoted Eriksson, Magnusson, Andersen, Lundstrom and Lundberg, and one of my scouts found a guy that's valued at 800,000, which is I think the most I've ever seen in FIFA 17, and I've got a couple thousand hours in it. Oh, and also this guy, but like, who cares, I got an 800k guy, go away dude.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
I then immediately promoted him, and only then did I decide to check the league table, in which we were 2nd actually, which was pretty nice.
Great success.
We were tied on points and had the least goals conceded, so I mean that was something. Pedersen was our only sale in the winter, but as for pre-contracts baby, I signed a right back, a goalkeeper for some reason, I didn't even know his overall, nor did I really need him, a right midfielder whose overall I also didn't know, but I just had money to burn, and a 76 overall left winger who would become our highest rated player. Very nice. I then offered our wunderkind more than twice of what he was asking, and a 20% goal bonus on top of that, but he said he does not want to renew. Problem is, his contract is expiring in 5 months. Very nice. Onto the cup. We had Lillestrøm, and we actually managed to beat them 2-0, so that's pretty cool. Bjarn Carlsen was next in line to be promoted to the first team, and with just 5 games left to play, we were right behind Rosenborg, and we even managed to beat ODD. And right after that, we had a cup quarterfinal against Haugesund, in which Bittik scored in just the 2nd minute, earning us a 3-1 win. In the league, Rosenborg actually drew their game, meaning we were tied on points, and next up we had Start. And in that game, they scored in just the 1st minute, before any names could even load, like what the hell is this? But then we replied with a goal of our own 2 minutes later. Then there were no goals until the 88th minute, where Ødegaard scored the winner. By the way, right before the game he was in the reserves, but I thought, hey, why don't I have any defenders on the bench? Probably should get one, and he was put on the bench got subbed on and went on to score the winner right before the game ended. Tactical mastermind, I know.
I am Jose Mourinho.
What's even better is that Rosenborg drew their game, meaning we shot up to first. And what's even better than that is that Asen has decided to stay. Very nice. After that we had a game against Brann where Bitik scored an early goal once more, this time earning us a 4-1 win. And guess what? Rosenborg had drawn for the third time in a row, meaning with just 2 games left we were first, meaning we needed just 1 win to win the league. And a 13th placed Lillestrøm were no match for us at home, as Heat scored the winning goal in the 58th minute, earning us the title for the first time since 1991. In the semis we scored yet another early goal and went on to win the game 3-1 and were into the final. And on the final day of the season I decided to give the retiring Danielsen the captain's armband and I played the second choice team. But even though we played a marginally weaker squad, we still won 1-0 against Sagandy's Nuts. Very nice. And in the final of the cup we had Molde. The game did not start well as our striker got stretchered off, but we did score a goal in the 9th before conceding 5 minutes later. It was a pretty drab affair until the 68th minute, where who else but B scored a penalty, winning us the cup. Very nice. So yeah, it was a pretty damn good season, all things considered. Asen signed a new 4-year contract and I even won the Manager of the Season award. Very nice.